platform. And so were over 700 points of interest. You have to think that there now exists this full-blown virtual travel guides to outdoor tourism in the countries of the region, which is amazing. And this newly published content alone has created over 1 million page views already. That's just mind-blowing.
I think we have achieved many things. We have much more presence of tourism content digitally now.
This is a very important point, because that means that the recognition for the importance of our mountains and also the beauty of it doesn't come only for external, from outsiders, people who come, but also from local people, and this is very important.
This activity, outdoor hiking, but also others, are benefiting in two sides. Actually, for local people, it gives some extra additional income, but people who are visiting this preserved nature and unspoiled can experience the nature, wildlife, but also diversity of this area.
I think we managed to create really nice synergies. Definitely demand is, for the Western Balkans is increasing, but we also see a new generation of people who are stakeholders, who are in tourism, who are really drivers of this. I think that the Balkans deserves to be discovered much more than it is now, because we have plenty of good things to offer, not just nature, culture, tradition, and people, but also maybe to bring Europeans or other people from the Western countries, to bring them back to some kind of, to the roots, and to taste again like simplicity of life, real food and drinks. So I would like to see it as a place of happy tourists and happy local people.
السلام عليكم، معكم معاذ من جمعية الإمارات للطبيعة. نحن اليوم بمصموت اللي هي تابعة لإمارة عجمان. معنا واحدة من المتطوعين قالت لنا شو السبب يلي خلاكي تصحي يمكن 5 الصبح 4 الصبح هيك شيء 4:30 وتيجي لمصموت مشان تعليمك بالحملة هي التطوعية لتنظيف المسارات.
كل الاشياء، فحلو نحن انه نرجع شيء للمجتمع، يعني ولو جزء بسيط، ونشارك بانه نرجع المكان في مكان. مثل ما شايفين هون كان هذا ممر مشي للناس، بسبب العاصفة صار جرف وصار في أتربة، فنحن عم نحاول اليوم انه نشيل التراب مشان يرجع مكان من اول وجديد صالح للناس تمشي عليه.
We are trying to bring some new income opportunities for the local community and the local farmers through our nature-based solution program. We are planting this Arabian moringa trees on their farms because for the commercial purposes.
I want to share with you a story, a tale of a mysterious city. In an ancient city named Luang Prabang, at dawn, the radiance of the sunrise bathes the French colonial era buildings in Luang Prabang. Along the Mekong River, locals ride elephants, creating a harmonious blend of life and nature.
My curiosity keeps me confused.
Luang Prabang, a melting pot of diverse cultures, has its own enchanting story quietly unfolding. In the serene ancient temple, a procession of monks approaches with the first light, reciting prayers for devout followers and travelers, eagerly waiting almsgiving. Luang Prabang, as a Buddhist ancient capital, not only serves as a religious site, but also safeguards and preserves ancient traditions and culture. With the ringing of temple bells and the synchronized chanting of monks, the sincere devotion of the Laotian people to these customs is palpable, creating a timeless intersection of past and present. The romantic and elegant French ambiance rejuvenates in Luang Prabang street cafes, where the rich aroma of coffee permeates the romantic city streets. People from around the world leisurely enjoy coffee, savoring the tranquility of the city. In this moment, with interwoven light and shadows, time stands still. Despite the scorching sun, Luang Prabang's Kwanzi Falls emerges as a natural masterpiece. With emerald-colored water cascading down, emitting a refreshing coolness. People frolic in the turquoise lake beneath the lush green forest, engaging in lively scenes of diving amidst the natural waterfall, creating a vivid and beautiful cultural tableau. As night falls, the gentle glow of neon lights illuminates Luang Prabang. In the ancient city's night market, a plethora of Laotian-themed goods capture the attention of travelers. People from all corners of the world immerse themselves in the aroma of delicious food and the artistic allure of handicrafts, relishing the unique cultural charm of Luang Prabang. Here, encounters with travelers from diverse backgrounds contribute to the rich cultural fusion. On this land, multiple cultures flow like the Mekong River. Luang Prabang is not only a place for global travelers.
It's very scrumptious. Thank you again to Atrangi for providing us that very, very wonderful lunch that we just had. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. My name is Patis Talawe, and I am the Director for Training and Support from Green Destination. To begin this afternoon session, we now turn our focus to the theme of metrics for sustainability, the role of data and key performance indicators. In a world where sustainability claims are easy to make but hard to measure, data and key performance indicators provide us the clarity and credibility that destinations need to track success, refine policies, and drive continuous improvement. To open the session, it is my pleasure to invite Ms. Isabel Lissner, Business Product and Senior Sustainability Manager at Because, to deliver a special presentation on how data systems and technology are empowering destinations to manage sustainability with precision and transparency. Ms. Listner brings over a decade of experience in sustainable tourism and hospitality. She has led the development of the Blue Flag and Green Key certification programs, and today, through Because, the Sustainability Data Hub for Tourism, she helps organizations streamline reporting, track progress, and translate sustainability data into action. Please join me in welcoming Ms. Isabel Listner to the stage.
Thank you very much, Patis. Thank you very much, and thank you for inviting me to kicking off this panel today. So in the next hour, we're going to talk about data and KPIs in the sustainable tourism world. And we just finished lunch, and thanks again to Aniket and his team for this fabulous food they provided. So our bellies are full. I believe our heads are spinning from the discussions we already had. That's why I'm very honored to see that so many decided to stay for this session to talk about something that could be a bit of a dry topic, but that is actually very important in our industry. And that you decided to attend this session also shows that you have recognized the challenges that our planet and our society has, and that you want to do something and act on it. And I'm sure you all heard the saying, you can't manage what you don't measure. And when it comes to measurement, we really don't lack guidance in our industry. There are so many certifications, frameworks, legislation and directive out there that tell us what to measure and how to measure, but it's not helping us to understand what we are measuring and actively translate it into action. But I want to start today's session with a question to you all that I would like you to keep in mind during the session. And that is, are we actually collecting data to guide our sustainability journey, or are we simply doing it to tick a box and justify where we are? So throughout the panel today, I would like to keep that in mind, reflect on it, what you are doing, and how this resonates with your actions. So Patis, thank you again for introducing myself. I'm Isabel Listner, and I work for the Copenhagen-based sustainability startup Because, and our mission is to transform sustainability data management in the tourism industry to make it simple, fast, and synergistic. We've built an AI-powered platform that helps destinations, hotels, and operators to manage their sustainability data workflows, and most importantly, turn that data into real action. And if we look at the tourism landscape today, sustainability data flows through a complex web of stakeholders, as you can see here. And each of those have different needs and way of using the data. And I think it's no surprise if I tell you that the importance of sustainability data is only growing. We have governments and international bodies that are tightening ESG reporting and legislation, even for smaller businesses in the future. We have investors, owners, and management companies that increasingly demand ESG data to assess long-term risk and value. So reporting is no longer optional, it's an expectation and requirement. And of course, we have guests and corporate clients and event planners that are also looking for transparency. So brands that can back up their sustainability claims with credible data build stronger trust and loyalty. So to sum up why it's important for destinations and tourism businesses to start collecting data. First, it helps you to stay ahead of the curve. Regulations are tightening, as I said, and early movers get to adapt, to learn from their mistakes and failures, to get up again and try again, and avoid last-minute rushes when it comes to data collection. Second, it helps to unlock hidden efficiencies and savings. So data reveals where resources are wasted, and improvements actually drive ROI. And third, it allows to design data-driven policies. Every destination and business is very different, but your data helps you to understand where you can have the biggest positive impact and what truly works for you and your team. Fourth, it helps to attract better guests, partners, employees. I'm sure you've all heard about the sustainable travel surveys that Booking.com is running, for example. It's quoted many times, showing that tourists are actually looking for more sustainable products. And at the same time, we can see that the younger generation is looking for more meaningful work and workplaces that walk the talk. Fifth, it helps to win trust, and with trust also comes business, of course. Transparency helps with the credibility of a company or organization, and those who can provide their impact will always stand out. And finally, it helps you to future-proof your business or destination. Sustainability is no longer a nice to have. I think we all acknowledge that, also seeing the other panel discussions today. It's the foundation of our business, and that's tourism. So if climate change and biodiversity loss and all the other problems are staying unchecked, we lose the foundation of our business. So meaningful action must happen, and this must be rooted in robust, reliable data. Now, if collecting and analyzing the data was so easy, we would probably have another hour at lunch and we wouldn't need this session today. So let's also look a bit at the challenges we are facing with collecting and analyzing data. The first is data fragmentation and inconsistency. Data is requested across multiple frameworks and systems, often asking the similar or even the same information over and over again. This leaves us with a lot of inconsistent data throughout the whole system. The second challenge is the lack of unified standards and infrastructure. Stakeholders report these data points in many different contexts and systems, leaving them fragmented. The third is weak governance and limited cooperation. Responsibility for sustainability is spread across tourism boards, local authorities, and associations, often leading to overlaps or data silos. And without clear governance, data quality and consistency suffer, of course. On top of that, there are trust and privacy concerns. Businesses may hesitate to share data for fear of misuse. Fourth, we have the complexity of aggregation. Tourism touches upon multiple sectors. We have the transport sector, accommodation sector, waste management, and combining all this data is very complicated and complex. And then we have seasonality that adds another challenge as the impacts fluctuate throughout the year with the tourism seasons. And it's often hard to isolate the tourism-related impacts from the overall broader municipal data. Fifth, there are resource and capacity limitations. Many destinations and smaller businesses simply don't know where to start. They don't have the funding for the tools that are needed, and they don't have the resources to invest in training. So this is one of the major barriers that specifically smaller organizations face. And finally, we have the verification communication gaps. The reporting landscape is crowded with unverified frameworks, which can cause confusion and duplication. On top of that, external audits are very expensive, as you might know. But without verified high-quality data, there's a real risk of greenwashing as well. Lastly, even when the data exists, many organizations find it difficult to communicate this data effectively to the different stakeholders that are interested in it. So coming back to the question from the beginning, are we collecting data to truly guide our sustainability journey or just to tick a box? The truth is, our industry is already collecting our data and has been doing it for many, many years and even decades. But we are not yet using it to its full potential. It's not enough to drive real, meaningful action yet. But sustainability data has enormous value, and I like to say it's like a sleeping beauty that's just waiting to be awakened. And the good news is that this awakening has already begun. We are seeing a shift towards more alignment, more collaboration, and more transformation when it comes to the data collection and analysis. And one initiative that is helping to drive this awakening is actually the Good Travel Alliance that you might have heard of already, I hope so, during this discussions today. It's a collaboration that brings together destinations and suppliers to create travel experiences that generate positive social impact and have a minimal environmental footprint. And the goals of the Good Travel Alliance are first to identify and promote tourism products and experiences that create positive impacts for local communities and the environment. Second, to support destinations and tour operators in developing good travel experiences using trusted assessment methods. Third, to provide robust data and a robust data platform that collects this information through the Alliance KPI framework, which is powered by our platform Because. And fourth, to elevate sustainable tourism offerings through verified data and authentic storytelling, because a data without a story is a story untold. And if you'd like to learn more about the Good Travel Alliance and the KPI framework, we have a 3-hour workshop tomorrow where we are going very hands-on. You can see the KPIs, we will discuss them, we will show you the platform and how to collect the data, because we know it's very difficult and complex sometimes, but we will make it approachable for you tomorrow. And with that, I'm handing over to Patis, and yeah, would like to thank you for your attention so far.
Thank you very much, Isabel, for that very insightful presentation. So indeed, as Isabel mentioned, from my experience also working with many destinations, data collection at some point has become a very straightforward and difficult process for them. No? So I hope that our discussion this afternoon will make more sense, or that will help us to understand how to make data more meaningful. We'll now continue with our panel discussion, where our speakers will share how data, metrics, and KPIs are being applied in destinations, businesses, cities to shape more informed and effective sustainability strategies. So with that, I would like to welcome back on stage Ms. Isabel Lissner from Because. And our first panelist for this afternoon, Ms. Maya Mehdi. She is the Assistant Project Manager in Sustainability here at Expo City Dubai. She leads sustainability initiatives and compliance for Expo City Dubai, developing sustainable event standards and achieving the ISO 20121-2024 certification across all Expo City operated venues. She is a driving force behind Expo City's internal sustainability culture and brings valuable expertise on measuring and improving sustainability performance in live environments. Our second panelist for this afternoon is Mr. Victor Fernandez Morales. He is the General Director of La Buena Huella from Spain. Their organization is pioneering leadership and regenerative tourism frameworks. He has designed methodologies such as the ARC 360 standard and the IRA model, helping destinations and SMEs quantify and strengthen their sustainability performance through actionable metrics. Together, including you, Isabel, we will share perspectives on how destinations, businesses can harness data to make sustainability more accountable, efficient, and transparent. I will begin our discussion. Hello. So we've heard already from Isabel, but I am now coming to Maya and following that, Victor, to introduce yourselves and also your organization. Can you share us a little bit about the work that you do and how your organizations respond to the needs and the importance of collecting sustainability metrics as well as reporting? Maya.
All right. I'm happy to be here. Thank you for attending and thank you for having me. So I'm Maya Mehdi. I work with Expo City Dubai sustainability team. I've been since the times of Expo 2020, and I've moved from the operational planning and execution into sustainability to merge both aspects and to actually work on integrating sustainability specifically into events. I have been part of obtaining the ISO certification, as you said, for Expo City Dubai venues, and I lead on an internal transformation agents program for Expo Sustainability Champions. To your question, I believe Isabel covered a lot of about the importance of collecting data, especially when it comes to sustainability metrics. At Expo City Dubai, we understand the shift from voluntary reporting to mandates and the regulatory pressure that is starting to especially come to surface in Dubai. We're lucky to be in a country that actually has a vision, puts targets and policies and legislations, and then educates as well the corporations on how to follow. So mostly we understand that in order to be trustworthy, we need to actually have this data. We work in a structured framework from our strategy to our targets to our KPIs, and then set policies and try to integrate sustainability into all our operational guidelines, procurement, and every other aspect of what the city does. We are a complex city. We host events. We have commercial tenants. We are soon to start hosting residents. So we rely a lot on data to actually make decisions, changes. We have a community that we like to listen to. So we rely on materiality assessments to gather this information, to understand the impact, to listen to our visitors, to our tourists, and to our people within the community. In addition to that, we do have expertise and data analysts that gather environmental and social data from energy, water, and waste. We do our annual reporting. We follow the standards of compliance, the international standards of compliance, whether it's the GRI or the Green Destinations impacts of importance. So we're aware that without this data, we cannot move forward. We cannot be transparent with our audience. There is a real shift even when it comes to the consumers and the business. You need to be credible. And without this data, you cannot really show the world what you're doing. And even internally within your organization, how would you revise your targets? How would you know if you've actually achieved your targets? How would you see if your strategy is really efficient, if you're walking the talk? So I believe at Expo City we focus on that. And anyway, our annual GRI reports are public, and you can visit our website and check the data I'm talking about.
Thank you very much, Maya. Later on, we will go back to those initiatives and those targets that you were talking about to show really how credibility works in practice. I come to you, Victor. Can you share us a little bit about yourself and your organization?
Perfect. Thank you very much, Patis. Thank you very much, everybody, to be here instead of being sleeping after lunch. Thanks a lot. I'm Victor Fernandez. Well, I'm not going to represent the company which I'm the CEO. I'm not going to represent the university where I'm teacher. I'm here to talk about Lanzarote and the metrics and data in Lanzarote. Okay, metrics and data. When everybody hear metrics, it's not sexy. It has to be sexy. It has to be sexy because if metrics and data are not sexy for the territory, for the destination, for the investor, for a community, they are not going to be involved in the ESG strategy. The first thing to be sexy, well, I'm not sexy, so I'm not the best to talk about it, but in my case, metrics has to be interesting. The most important for us is not to talk about data. Is to talk about the information which you obtain with the data. If you only work for the data, nobody has time to fill an information. We have no time. But if this time is not to give data, is to contract your profitable future or even your profitable present, it's a good inversion of time. So first, we have to change talking about data to change about information. And which is the value of the data? The value of the information? Which is the value of the information? What are you going to do with the information? Which next step? I was talking before with my colleague. I was here in the COP28 with the national government. They showed me many things about a strategy which is up to 2070. 2070. We were in 2023. Now we are in 2025. 2070. This is an intelligent, long-term strategy. Congratulations. In this sense, I saw in 2023 the data of ammonia. Do you know ammonia? Ammonia is not sexy, but I'm going to tell you something that it is. It's about money. Ammonia is the element which you transform into a green hydrogen, which is the best energy, the best green energy, because a lot of things, okay? In 2023, I'm from Spain. Lanzarote is one of the Canary Islands in Spain. They signed a contract of 15,000 million euro with Iberdrola, which is a Spanish company, in order to get there, in destination in Spain, the transformation of ammonia to hydrogen, green hydrogen, and distributed in Spain. One contract, 15,000 million euro. It's not about business. Environment and business are joined. To be green is not less profitable, and metrics show this. To be green is very profitable. Here, I don't know because I'm very bad in the northeast, south. They are in a city with 100% recuperated water. They don't need that it rains. There are some parts of Spain, Europe, that are inhabitable because it doesn't rain. Here, there's one city that it doesn't care if it rains or not. Metrics data is really important to take decisions. Data, information, decision, return. We have a methodology that is open, it's not like a secret, okay? Which means action, impact, return, strategy. A lot of things in ESG topics, you do something that you suppose that is okay for the planet. Nobody knows what happened. You have invested money, and after a year, nothing happens. It's not ESG smart. It's to lose money. But if you do something inside a strategy, looking for a concrete impact, a concrete KPI that you measure, and this impact returns you money as more planet man, planet woman you are, more competitive is your company, more powerful is your society. Not today, or if you want after, but I can show you many concrete examples of this. So in our case, we try to use data in a sexy thing.
Thank you very much, Victor. And I will come back to that because I like I like how you already started making sense of some data that we should make sense of and how to make meaning out of it. But before I come back to that, I want to ask Isabel, because the two of them already mentioned about how they're using data, but from you, from Because as a platform provider for destinations and for businesses, maybe you can help elaborate to us how platforms not only help us track, not only help us measure, but also how do we make sense out of data? How can you use that to communicate and for storytelling?
Yes, of course. So as a data hub, because we are aggregating data from different sources. So I think it's very important to acknowledge that sustainability data is not coming just from one source. It's scattered in different departments with different people. And especially in the hospitality industry, we know there's a big turnover of staff, especially in hotels. So sometimes this data can get lost. So it's important to have one place that's consistent and gives continuity to the sustainability journey. And that is what a data platform like Because can achieve. So you have one place, one source of truth that can help you guide your sustainability journey with the data that you collect, and then of course later analyze.
I like that you already started talking about data collection. Victor, maybe from your experience, especially working with destinations where there's a lot of data available, but there's also a lot of data that's missing. What are some of the barriers that you have experienced in collecting data, and how do you actually address them?
Okay. Before ask for the data, you have to explain for what. This is the first thing. If you are the person who is going to steal my time, you are a bad person. So the first, I'm going to give you, in all the parts of the world, I'm going to give you. And if I'm going to give you, it has to be true. If you say somebody, I'm going to give you, after you have to give him, because if not, you are going to have a problem there. You can't go on holidays there because they are going to kick you, okay? So what can you give when you ask for a data? And improve in their lives, and improve in their business, and improve in the government, and improve in their in their lives, in the priorities they have. Which is the priority of the person which you are talking with? You have to know. It's not the same priority here than in Montpellier, than in Lanzarote. You have to talk the same language. I'm going to give what you want to receive, not what I expect. And then, when you explain, I've never met somebody who wants to hurt voluntarily the world. It's good for me? Okay, I do. And then, when they do, we can explain them the impact, the good impact they have with their reaction. Doing by them interest, hey, you have to do this. The good when you work for planet.
Thank you. Yes, please.
Yeah, just to add on what you said about speaking the right language to the right people, it's not only across destinations or countries, it's actually within an organization. We see that Because, so we collect or help to collect sustainability data. And of course, the first point of contact is usually the sustainability team, and they don't really have the budgets for systems or anything really these days. But we learned that sustainability data is not only about sustainability itself, it's about the business, right? So we started talking to the sales teams and the marketing teams, and they love the idea of having access to sustainability data fast, because they need to get access to this for the request for proposal, for example. So they are paying the sustainability solution they need actually through their sales and marketing budgets. So we need to rethink where sustainability sits.
Thank you very much. And now, Maya, I come to you, because Expo City Dubai is also, very unique in that you're not just a destination, but you host a multitude of events. So with working with different types of stakeholders, with working with different types of suppliers, how do you communicate, how do you talk about the same language with them as they elaborated earlier?
I think we all agree on one thing, is that engagement, communication, and education is at the core of making the internal and external stakeholders understand the value. We need to make them aware of the why. Why am I asking for this data? The GRI report is a very good example because it starts from within. It doesn't only collect data on environmental aspects, it also touches on internal equality metrics within the HR of each company. So holding supplier, internal and external stakeholder engagement sessions, whether it's to the core teams of each organization to make them understand the value, to explain to them what we're doing with this data, how we're using this data, and the same goes to the suppliers. The main challenge, I believe, is the downstream of the supply chain, and I think you might agree with me. Making the downstream of the supply chain understand why they need to report on this data, maybe twisting the scenario and making them see the value of it, how it could become a competitive advantage later on if they actually get those results and get those reports that they are helping with submitting this data for. Engagement is very important. Education. At Expo City Dubai, we have tailored training sessions for both our internal and external stakeholders. Those sessions would touch on different aspects of environmental and social impacts, whether it's accessibility, worker welfare, waste management, circularity, energy, and so on. Once the stakeholders understand the value of it, then the cooperation and coordination would be much, much more valuable. Another thing is, I believe, like Isabel was saying, choosing the right mechanisms and tools. So if I'm just collecting this data and I don't have a proper process, I'm not following international compliance standards. ISO is an example on how to collect the data, what are the evidence of your data that you need to collect. Then you have to have a regulating body that actually formalizes this process and tells you how to actually have a comparable source of data. One more thing would be data accuracy. I can collect as many data as possible, but who tells me if this data is accurate? So external auditing and third-party auditing is very essential. This is your proof that what you are reaching out to get is actually trustworthy, and that the information you're publishing at the end is as well legit.
Thank you. We have been talking about putting data into action. So maybe you can talk a little bit about some concrete examples of how this actually happened. Were there some changes in decision making? How did data, or maybe you can give us an example of how data actually influenced a change in a destination or in your business, and with you maybe, Isabel, with helping them or helping destinations and businesses collect this information.
Yeah, absolutely. So I can start with one anecdote from because we have a client, a big hotel chain from the US, that is doing their request for proposals through our platform. And before that, they needed to collect the data in Excel spreadsheets, and how cumbersome that can be. So they told us by using our system, they reduced the time from doing that from weeks to minutes. So that was one very concrete example of how the right infrastructure can help you to be more efficient, to focus on what matters, and that's action, right? Not taking or collecting the data and analyzing it, but taking action on it. And the second is from a time when I worked at a certification where there was a property that started measuring the water consumption monthly because the certification requested so. And only because of that, they found a leak that they would have otherwise probably found very late afterwards. So they were very thankful for being forced to collect data more frequently and more systematically.
Thank you, Isabel. Victor, from a destination perspective, or from Lanzarote maybe, you have an example, a concrete example of how data influence the decision change.
Yeah, Well, we have many examples. One of them, the water. In Lanzarote, rains in the same levels as in Dubai, you can imagine. No? Yeah. The data is that if we work in collect the rain water, we do nothing. Nothing. No? It's very trendy to, we are going to collect the rain in order to be efficient. There's no rain, there's no collect, don't do it. Okay? Zero rain, zero recollect, don't do it. But in Lanzarote, the 43% of the residual waters are gray, not black. So, if we build a double aljibe tank, we can collect them, and with bichitos, little animals, we can treat them and recover those waters to the common use. The 42% of the water in Lanzarote, we don't have to collect nowadays from the public installations. 42%. It's a lot. The inversion of one tank is 2,000 euro. 2,000 euro. For the public administration, in 4 months, you have recovered the inversion. The whole inversion of the 42% of less you don't have to collect them. 42% less. My English is horrible, sorry. But it's a very, very big data. 2,000 euro, 4 months you have recovered, and you need the 42% less of water in a place with no rain. You don't have to invest a lot.
Thank you very much. I think that's a very good way to put it as well, and especially when we talk about business and putting it into perspective of the financial aspect as well. And maybe Maya, you can also share some experience, because I know in Expo City Dubai that you work a lot with data collection and with numbers. So maybe you can share a little bit about maybe how this data has actually helped you with not just with compliance, but actually helping suppliers transform their business practices as well.
So maybe I'll give an example which is more internal, not supplier directed, and it's kind of dear to my heart. So as I said, I work with the transformation agents, as we call them, of Expo City. They are sustainability champions who would like to drive behavioral change. And it's just a voluntary context. So we launched an initiative through this group to reduce printing, paper printing, because as most of you might know, there's a huge environmental impact from printing, in addition to a cost impact. Through this initiative, every agent led the way through their teams to actually reduce printing. And we gathered on a monthly basis from each team the documents, the number of documents that have been printed throughout 5 months. We noticed that there was a major reduction because people were following in some cases. In other cases, when it's linked to business purposes and documentation, it was harder to actually comply. But the good thing is that we noticed that there is a reduction in cost of paper. In addition to that, then HR actually adopted this, and we suddenly received an email saying we're going to remove printers from the business. So this is a good example, as simple as it is, of how data can lead to behavioral, operational change that hits 2 things: environmental aspects, reducing the environmental aspect. It also has a good economical perspective, because when you're reducing your printers, there's less operational and the electricity costs on the organization. So such small changes because of the data that you've collected can also even in your business internally have an impact.
I like that you put the behavioral change part in that as well. I would like to come back to you, Victor, because you're also working with regeneration, and a lot of destinations, you know, like find it very difficult to measure positive regenerative impacts. No, so maybe you can talk a little bit about that, and how can you relate this to improving tourism industry competitiveness and also attractiveness of destinations?
Okay, well, we have write a simple piece of paper, 265 pages, to explain case by case how to take from one sphere. We have 5 spheres: environment, social, cultural, quality and economy. From then, 20 aspects. From then, 650 focus. From these, 650 indicators. From these, 1,300 actions. And from the 1,300 actions, 1,300 improvements in the regeneration, which are cultural, social and environment, and at the same time 1,300 improvements in the competitive, which are considered quality and economy. It's very easy. We have time. So you can read it until 2070. It's more or less. We have time, no problem. Okay, how to do this? Because one action solves the problems of all the stakeholders involved. If the action is against some of the stakeholders, can be done. So it's not going to be a reality. It's going to be lost. Something will happen that this action is not going to be done. So all the stakeholders have problems, or none of the problems usually are the same problem. So we have our own problems. So you have to create, for one indicator, one action to solve all the problems. An example, we developed the school regenerative competitive in alliance with Red Cross in Spain. What's this? A connector, which connect people in a bad situation with companies which need to contract people. They need employees. They don't have enough employees. So this connection is one action which solves the problem of the people who need to work and they can't, and companies which need to contract because if not they can increase. So one solution, all the problems, and then you can do it.
Thank you very much. I just want to go back to something that was mentioned this morning, that sustainable destination management starts with good governance. No? But also, I think that sustainable destination management also starts with some good information, no? Because we cannot manage what we do not know, right? And a lot of this really comes from data that we collect. And I think this is what we can make, or how we can make sense of data and key performance indicators. And before I conclude, we have some minutes left, and maybe we can take some questions from the audience today. Anyone who has any questions? Yes, please, Martin. Can we have a microphone over there? Please introduce yourself. Also, I mean, they saw you, but
introduce
yes.
myself again. Okay, introduce myself. Martin from Red Sea Global. Data and KPIs play a big role for us as well. And we have been hearing right now as well as part of the panel a lot of times about environmental data. But let's talk about as well social KPIs. And that's where I wanted to have a little bit more of a Maya, maybe you can as well address that a little bit of how does Expo City as well look into social KPIs and how do we measure it? And Isabel, how can you as well with Because help, for example, to collect that kind of data and to drive really social economic impact?
Thank you for the question. Actually, I'm happy you asked it because very often social data and KPIs gets missed. The social metrics that we look into are just as important as the environmental ones. We focus a lot on accessibility, worker welfare, health and safety, whether it's in our events or in our operations. We've been working closely as well with an auditing and reporting entity, especially on worker welfare. So once we want to go into business, let's say, with any of our suppliers or contractors, we do our due diligence through our partners to either accept if they meet the criteria or not. We as well ask for monthly reports on the worker welfare criteria metrics on those contractors. Accessibility, from the other hand, we follow laws, UAE laws, we follow policies. We have our own accessibility policy in Expo City. We as well do auditing through third-party auditors, and we have an embedded accessibility consultant. So the data that, let's say, we collect either from our venues on site or from the events or from the built environment, because as you might know now, Expo City is turning as well into a residential community. So all this data will help us to shape our decisions, to know what we need to improve, how we need to evolve our strategy, what are the areas that are working and what are not. In addition to that, when it comes to inclusivity and equality in the workplace, we focus a lot on this data, and this is what the GRI report, I keep on saying GRI report because it's actually a fundamental standard that we always follow for compliance. This is what it tells you about the city, is that we look into our people internally as well, and whether it's a supplier, whether it's a worker, whether it's a contractor. So it's as important as the environmental data. The only thing with the social data is that you need to have your measuring frameworks. Not in all cases you will find international standard that gives you those metrics. So as long as you're able to actually formalize this framework, then you are on the right track. I hope I answered your question.
Thank you very much. Before we have another question, Isabel, please.
Yeah, just very briefly. As we are a neutral, independent platform, we work with any standards or frameworks that also include social data, for example. The most important is that the data that is collected is at some point verified. We can see that more and more certifications are also focusing more on the social KPIs and also frameworks. Also when we look at internal sustainability policies and programs of hotel chains, for example. So we see the importance growing, and we're definitely supporting that side of sustainability as well.
Thank you. I saw some hand over there. Oh, yes, please.
Hello, I'm Wolfgang Alt from the Meaningful Tourism Center. 3 weeks ago, I was at a conference of PATA and UN Tourism in China, so the industry side, and there was only one topic they talked the whole 2 days about was AI. Today, we talk even about data and KPI, but I haven't heard the word AI used here. So obviously, we are still living in silos. So there's one silo of the industry, there's one silo of the sustainability movement. And how do we, I mean, with this topic, so we are a Meaningful Tourism Center. For us, KPIs are very, very important as well in our strategy. So how get we out of these silos and start acknowledging the importance of AI and bring the industry to acknowledge the importance of sustainability? Difficult question, sorry.
Yeah, I would love to take that question because we are trying to break that silo and work with AI. So as a digital platform, of course, we know AI is happening, and it's already happening on our platform as well. For example, if you input data, we have an AI data validator that tells you if there are any outliers. And of course, this model needs to be trained because it needs to understand what an outlier is. So the more data we have and the better data we have, going back to having verified data that feeds this AI tool, the better results we get. And we believe that in the future, AI can also help to analyze trends, do predictions, and find the right actions for the right business or destination. Because, as I said earlier as well, every business and destination is different and needs different action to progress on their sustainability journey. And hopefully with AI, we can see more synergy and find the best solution.
Let's take one more question, please.
Yes. When we talk about data collection, we think about ethical standards, ethics. We know that ethics and research, they go hand in hand. So I was wondering, let's say you need to collect some data and you need to still break some ethical rules, let's say. How do you manage that? If you know in advance that you need to actually, to reach that data, you need to actually follow some unethical ways, and you don't want to do it. So how do you reach that data? And have you ever experienced that, and maybe you found some other alternative ways to keep that, ethical path instead of following some unethical ways, if that makes sense? Because sometimes data is actually waiting for us, but we need to follow an unethical route. So how do we manage?
I'll speak for ourselves at Expo City. So since we follow a very clear international compliance and data collection mechanisms and standards, what we face is not unethical ways of collecting this data. However, we might at sometimes face resistance from those data owners, and that is why we try to break that with implementing more communication and more engagement. Sometimes this resistance comes internally before externally. Fortunately, we haven't been into a situation where we had to go anywhere unethical, and we will not go that route. What we do is we foster collaboration more. We work on a shared value, trying to enhance engagement as much as possible, even if sometimes this might mean that capturing or having the data might be delayed. You might not get it in the time you need, and sometimes you have specific timelines when it comes to reporting and to issuing your reports. But what needs to be done is finding your way around in the most convenient manner. And out of experience, what we have noticed is educating your stakeholders, listening to them, understanding sometimes why they are resisting to give this data is very important. We do understand that in some cases there is some data that officially we are not allowed to venture into, and we don't, and this is why following the international compliance requirements for reporting is very important, because it would not put you in such a position where you're asking for something that is not really yours to know.
Thank you very much. I think that's a very good insight, and I think a lot of destinations, or at least with the ones that we work with, it's also not about unethical sourcing of data, but it's really the resistance. And I like what you said about engaging, and also we come back again to the awareness and letting them know why this data is valuable. And I think part of that transparency is, letting them know how we use this data as well and what is it for.
Can I just add one thing which is very important? Sometimes you go out to your visitors and tourists and your community. Here in Expo, we do a lot of events, and we are a touristic destination. In the same time, we have our commercial tenants, and we reach out to them with feedback surveys, having all sorts of questions, whether it is satisfaction indicators, whether it is where do you come from, what transport mode do you use. And this data is very important for us to enhance our operations, to enhance our strategies. But in so many cases, people do not want to answer those questions, whether they don't find the time or they don't find the reason to. What we do is we work on a very, let me say, very well-detailed communication plan, whether it is through the messaging that we place on site, whether it is through what we put out there on social media. We share knowledge. We make them understand why we're collecting this. If they understand the value of it, then they will maybe be more encouraged to actually participate.
Thank you very much. And unfortunately, we are out of time. We could go on and on because data can take us so many places. But yeah, we don't have time anymore. But I would like to thank the three of you for being here with us today. And yeah, so that ends our session for today. The next one is we're going to have a coffee break. But before we have a coffee break, I have some announcements for the dinner tonight. And I would just like to excuse the three of you, please, because we need to see some. Let's give a round of applause to our panelists. And here's just some information about the dinner tonight. So for all of you who are joining, please take note of the schedule and the transfer details for this evening. So we are all going together to the dinner. We're going to have it in the desert. So it's best that we all come together. So please take note of these times. At 5:15, please begin to follow the staff. So there are buggies waiting for us downstairs to take the delegates to the pickup point of the buses. So at 5:45, 5:45, the buses will depart to the dinner venue. Our dinner will be from 7 p.m. until 10:30 p.m. And from then, we will be returning back to the city. And we have 3 drop-off locations. So we have Movenpick at the...
One of my favorite things in life, and what regenerates me, is going into expansive wilderness. The people who come here, they will experience that too.
Good morning!
Hey, Nikki, how's it going? You ready to head out?
Let's do it.
All right, follow me.
We're getting this new trend of luxury tourism where they're going for nature.
The first pillar of regenerative tourism is conservation.
These reefs are absolutely amazing, and they're virtually unexplored.
The goal is now to keep it pristine. Oh, what an amazing time. You know, a lot of people just see these plants, but within these plants, there's all the sorts of wildlife.
Oh, look. So you see that little jellyfish right there? So that's the upside-down jellyfish.
Oh, really?
So it eats sunlight, and it's photosynthesizing right now.
That's amazing.
The rarest herbivore that we get around here is the dugong.
This is their home.
This is their home.
We have amazing tropical reefs here. We have amazing desert habitats. We have mountains. There's so much that one person can experience.
That's what I love about this place.
That was epic.
Some would say that we have driven hours to see the sunset, but we're actually only 10 minutes from the sea. The moon is up, and it's almost the time for our stargazing.
This is quite unique in the way that guests can enjoy this astronomy experience.
It is. We're designing all the lights to be dark sky friendly. That makes the place very special for astrotourism. The whole community is connected to the stars in terms of stories and history. It is engraving your culture in the sky, and the guests are also ambassadors to spreading that culture. Tonight, we're seeing the full moon.
I feel like I can see the whole way around the moon. I've never seen anything like that.
You're seeing things that you can only take away with your soul.
This forest is older than any of us. These rocks have been around for millions of years. The mountains have towered over every human that has ever lived. And these rivers have sustained life before any of us were here. We walk, we run, we climb, and we ride in beautiful landscapes and pristine nature. We get to be guests in culture that has grown for generations, and we meet each other in spaces that belong to us all. But the beauty is brittle, and the more we thrust ourselves into the wildest, most untamed and fascinating regions, the more we have to ask ourselves, what is the footprint we want to leave behind? Technology helps us understand how we behave. It gives us guidance, and it connects us, and it helps us protect what we must conserve. We want to take responsibility, and we want to live up to it for an outdoor tourism that is sustainable, regenerative, and meaningful. Join us on our journey to protect the spaces we love for generations to come. Join Outdoor Active.
How I would like to see the Western Balkans in the future. My big wish for the region is to see this region as a renowned destination for sustainable, responsible tourism.
Tourism role is very important to this region, especially sustainable tourism, because more and more people, local people, engaged.
One of the greatest things of Albania is having this still untouched experience and being this sleeping beauty of Europe, of the Balkan.
So about 4 years ago, we were approached by GIZ. They told us they had invested a lot into the development of outdoor and adventure tourism offers in Albania, in Kosovo, in North Macedonia, and Montenegro. But internationally, the region was not really seen as a destination for that. And we thought, well, there must be a way to change that. I'm Simon Reuter, and I manage research and collaboration projects for Outdoor Active. Outdoor Active is the world's leading platform for outdoor and adventure tourism. We have the most advanced digital features, both for outdoor enthusiasts and for those that develop and maintain the offers and services for adventure travelers. And as it turns out, we're also a great match for the Western Balkans, because this region is an absolute paradise for adventure travel, but it lacks visibility on the international market. And we as a platform, well, we can give it that kind of reach.
In the past, we have invested quite a lot in developing small infrastructure, in developing of products, in developing of various touristic offers. But one of the biggest problems that we have here in the Balkans is visibility. My name is Anica Palazzo. I work for GIZ's CEDRA project, which is support to economic diversification of rural areas in Southeast Europe, Western Balkans 6. And I work in a position of advisor. First of all, I would like to say that I'm very proud that GIZ has been present in the region of Western Balkans for, let's say, 30 years. So basically what we are trying to do is we want to create opportunities for the local communities, to diversify their economy, to create income generating possibilities, new employments, and so on. Not much has been done in the past to actually promote the region. We know the region has potential. When tourists come here, they say, wow.
Because many of the clients that we have here, they are quite in awe and surprised about the beauty of this country, and they wouldn't know about this if there wouldn't be some digital marketing. My name is Mirjeta. Right now we are in Kosovo, in the western part of Kosovo, in the village, a mountaineering village, which is called Miliševc, which is also part of Peaks of the Balkans Trail. Like sometimes even a picture makes the difference, and people are like, wow, that's beautiful. I would like to see where is this place and visit it. So digital marketing, I think, is the key We want this place to be well promoted.
The countries of the Western Balkans, for the most part, lack functioning destination management and marketing organizations. That means that the guides, the guest house owners, the tour operators, they are pretty much left to fend for themselves. So the question was, how can we support them to make their offers see? And for us, the answer was capacity building. I mean, these are all highly trained professionals. They really know what they're doing, but that does not mean that they are automatically also going to be marketing pros. Through Outdoor Active, every stakeholder can create and publish content that is potentially seen by millions of travelers. Yeah, so we organized workshops in the region to introduce local stakeholders to these platforms. We worked with them, we gave them access, we upskilled them in a number of trainings. A big warm welcome. We also organized a number of online courses so that we would reach more people, and we ended up training over 220 local drivers of adventure tourism.
I'm really impressed with the numbers that we reached in trained person to digitalize their tourism content, which can actually ensure some kind of sustainability, like we have the skills in the region.
I think the online platforms, digital marketing is very important. In this case, Outdoor Active, which gives also additional information to the clients and people who want to visit and to see. Hi, my name is Bekim Bituce. Right now we are in Shari National Park, so present Kosovo. For me, Outdoor Active is very important, but also very flexible. I can use it even I am on tour or being in office, so I can plan my tour with Outdoor Active. It's helping me a lot. Example, I had a chance to put some, let's say, some sites like Mountain Hut, and people, it's visible so they can visit, and people are more and more having security in their trip.
One of my favorite things about Outdoor Active is that it's very easy to be used and to create routes. You need approximately 10 to 15 minutes and you can make the product available to everyone. And as far as I know, it has also a lot of users, so meaning that you might have a lot of reach. My name is Rezar Tabare and we are in Tirana, the capital of Albania. UNESCO cycling route is a cycling product of Albania. It's advisable to be done in 15 days. So you're gonna have 15 days of struggling, but you're gonna experience great food, great hospitality. So I had the information that this route existed, but it was accessible only to tour operators offering their private tours. We uploaded UNESCO cycling route in the Outdoor Active platform, and after that it was like promoted in a lot of magazines and tourism platforms. It also went twice in the New York Times and other magazines. And throughout that, we saw that the reach of the product through the link that was placed everywhere and was promoted, it went to 14,000 views and active users checking out the product. So the importance of the digital part is as important as the development of the product itself. You can have the most beautiful product in the world, but if no one can see it, no one can access it, then no one knows about it.
During the project period, thanks to the local and international tourism professionals, over 1,800 routes, so that's trails and activities, were digitized through the platform. And so were over 700 points of interest. You have to think that there now exists this full-blown virtual travel guide to outdoor tourism in the countries of the region, which is amazing. And this newly published content alone has created over 1 million page views already. That's just mind-blowing.
I think we have achieved many things. We have much more presence of tourism content digitally now.
This is a very important point, because that means that the recognition for the importance of our mountains and also the beauty of it doesn't come only for external, from outsiders, people who come, but also from local people, and this is very important.
This activity, outdoor hiking, but also others, are benefiting in two sides. Actually, for local people, it gives some extra additional income, but people who are visiting this preserved nature and unspoiled can experience the nature, wildlife, but also diversity of this area.
I think we managed to create really nice synergies. Definitely demand is, for the Western Balkans is increasing, but we also see a new generation of people who are stakeholders, who are in tourism, who are really drivers of this. I think that the Balkans deserves to be discovered much more than it is now, because we have plenty of good things to offer, not just nature, culture, tradition, and people, but also maybe to bring Europeans or other people from the Western countries, to bring them back to some kind of, to the roots, and to taste again like simplicity of life, real food and drinks. So I would like to see it as a place of happy tourists and happy local people.
السلام عليكم، معكم معاذ من جمعية الإمارات للطبيعة. نحن اليوم بمسقوط اللي هي تابعة لإمارة عجمان. معنا واحدة من المتطوعين قالت لنا شو السبب يلي خلاكي تصحي يمكن 5 الصبح 4 الصبح هيك شيء 4:30 وتيجي لمسقوط مشان تساعدينا بالحملة هي التطوعية لتنظيف المسارات.
كل الاشياء، فحلو نحن انه نرجع شيء للمجتمع، يعني ولو جزء بسيط، ونشارك بانه نرجع المكان مثل ما كان. مثل ما شايفين هون كان هذا ممر مشي للناس، بسبب العاصفة صار جرف وصار في أتربة، فنحن عم نحاول اليوم انه نشيل التراب مشان يرجع مكان من اول وجديد صالح للناس تمشي عليه.
We are trying to bring some new income opportunities for the local community and the local farmers through our nature-based solution program. We are planting this Arabian moringa trees on their farms because for the commercial purposes.
I want to share with you a story, a tale of a mysterious city. In an ancient city named Luang Prabang, at dawn, the radiance of the sunrise bathes the French colonial era buildings in Luang Prabang. Along the Mekong River, locals ride elephants, creating a harmonious blend of life and nature.
My curiosity keeps me confused.
Luang Prabang, a melting pot of diverse cultures, has its own enchanting story quietly unfolding. In the serene ancient temple, a procession of monks approaches with the first light, reciting prayers for devout followers and travelers, eagerly waiting almsgiving. Luang Prabang, as a Buddhist ancient capital, not only serves as a religious site, but also safeguards and preserves ancient traditions and culture. With the ringing of temple bells and the synchronized chanting of monks, the sincere devotion of the Laotian people to these customs is palpable, creating a timeless intersection of past and present. The romantic and elegant French ambiance rejuvenates in Luang Prabang street cafes, where the rich aroma of coffee permeates the romantic city streets. People from around the world leisurely enjoy coffee, savoring the tranquility of the city. In this moment, with interwoven light and shadows, time stands still. Despite the scorching sun, Luang Prabang's Kwanzi Falls emerges as a natural masterpiece. With emerald-colored water cascading down, emitting a refreshing coolness. People frolic in the turquoise lake beneath the lush green forest, engaging in lively scenes of diving amidst the natural waterfall, creating a vivid and beautiful cultural tableau. As night falls, the gentle glow of neon lights illuminates Luang Prabang. In the ancient city's night market, a plethora of Laotian-themed goods capture the attention of travelers. People from all corners of the world immerse themselves in the aroma of delicious food and the artistic allure of handicrafts, relishing the unique cultural charm of Luang Prabang. Here, encounters with travelers from diverse backgrounds contribute to the rich cultural fusion. On this land, multiple cultures flow like the Mekong River. Luang Prabang is not only a place for global travelers to experience its culture, and connect with Laotian culture on a spiritual level, but also a crossroads of world cultures, where ancient and modern, passion and serenity intertwine, creating a city with infinite allure. Luang Prabang, where the story continues to unfold. Luang Prabang, where the story continues to unfold.
Morjesta Luang Prabang.
Luang Prabang from Australia.
Unasiana Luang Prabang.
Konnichiwa, Luang Prabang.
Hello Luang Prabang.
Annyeong, Luang Prabang.
Buenas, Luang Prabang.
Salutare, Luang Prabang.
สวัสดีครับหลนทับาม Hi
你好，狼波拉邦。
I want to share with you a story, a tale of a mysterious city. In an ancient city named Luang Prabang, at dawn, the radiance of the sunrise bathes the French colonial era buildings in Luang Prabang. Along the Mekong River, locals ride elephants, creating a harmonious blend of life and nature.
My curiosity keeps me confused.
Luang Prabang, a melting pot of diverse cultures, has its own enchanting story quietly unfolding. In the serene ancient temple, a procession of monks approaches with the first light, reciting prayers for devout followers and travelers, eagerly waiting almsgiving. Luang Prabang, as a Buddhist ancient capital, not only serves as a religious site, but also safeguards and preserves ancient traditions and culture. With the ringing of temple bells and the synchronized chanting of monks, the sincere devotion of the Laotian people to these customs is palpable, creating a timeless intersection of past and present. The romantic and elegant French ambiance rejuvenates in Luang Prabang street cafes, where the rich aroma of coffee permeates the romantic city streets. People from around the world leisurely enjoy coffee, savoring the tranquility of the city. In this moment, with interwoven light and shadows, time stands still. Despite the scorching sun, Luang Prabang's Kwanzi Falls emerges as a natural masterpiece. With emerald-colored water cascading down, emanating a refreshing coolness. People frolic in the turquoise lake beneath the lush green forest, engaging in lively scenes of diving amidst the natural waterfall, creating a vivid and beautiful cultural tableau. As night falls, the gentle glow of neon lights illuminates Luang Prabang. In the ancient city's night market, a plethora of Laotian-themed goods capture the attention of travelers. People from all corners of the world immerse themselves in the aroma of delicious food and the artistic allure of handicrafts, relishing the unique cultural charm of Luang Prabang. Here, encounters with travelers from diverse backgrounds contribute to the rich cultural fusion. On this land, multiple cultures flow like the Mekong River. Luang Prabang is not only a place for global travelers to experience its culture, and connect with Laotian culture on a spiritual level. also a crossroads of world cultures, where ancient and modern, passion and serenity intertwine, creating a city with infinite allure. Luang Prabang, where the story continues to unfold. Luang Prabang, where the story continues to unfold.
Morjesta Luang Prabang.
Luang Prabang from Australia.
Sabari Luang Prabang.
Bună seara, Luang Prabang.
Konnichiwa, Luang Prabang.
Hello, Luang Prabang.
Annyeong Luang Prabang.
Bonus Luang Prabang.
Salutare Luang Prabang.
สวัสดีครับนนทบาม Hi
你好，狼波拉邦。
Well, let's dive into a fascinating new trend in travel. URH, a Swiss shipping company, has successfully launched the very first 100% vegan brunch cruises on Lake Constance and the River Rhine.
That's a huge indicator of shifting consumer preferences towards more ethical and sustainable options.
Right. And what's particularly striking about this initiative is not just that it's vegan, but the extent of their commitment to sustainability. They've achieved Swisstainable Level 2 status and the Good Travel Seal Gold certification. This means they're not just talking the talk, they're actively minimizing their environmental impact, reducing waste, and using locally sourced ingredients. It's a holistic approach, a truly inspiring example of innovation in tourism.
So when you boil it all down, the takeaway is pretty clear. You have URH launching these pioneering 100% vegan cruises on Lake Constance and the Rhine, and they sell out almost instantly. They're doing it with fantastic partners like Die Kookpiraten and New Roots, emphasizing things like zero waste and amazing plant-based food. Plus, this isn't just for show. They hold serious certifications that prove a deep commitment to responsible tourism. But the biggest message here is that there's a strong, growing consumer demand for travel experiences that are both eco-conscious and ethically aligned.
URH isn't just offering a meal. They're setting a new benchmark for Swiss tourism by championing plant-based cuisine and comprehensive sustainable practices. This initiative is sparking important conversations about climate-friendly tourism and the real-world impact of conscious consumer choices.
I'm Gabriele, and this Trullo from 1690, now a UNESCO World Heritage Site, wasn't just something I inherited. I grew up here. Among these stones, I learned the value of the land, of silence, of the seasons. Today, it's become a declaration of love for my roots and a concrete response to climate change. I chose to bring back to life what was already here, preserving memory while designing the future. Trullo Bio is the first Trullo ever to receive the Casa Clima certification, a recognition of energy efficiency and sustainability. Its stone walls are over 1 meter thick, finished with natural lime plaster and crowned with traditional conical roofs. This ancient structure now integrates discrete technologies, a high-efficiency heat pump, high-performance windows, smart home automation, and low-energy LED lighting. The technology is there, but you don't see it, because true innovation breathes in silence. Every object inside the Trullo tells a story. Restored farming tools, authentic furnishings, living materials, lime, cork, and wood breathe. Comfort, design, and beauty coexist without compromise. I involved Apulian artisans, revived farming knowledge, and safeguarded crafts that were on the verge of disappearing. Using reclaimed wood, Grottagli ceramics, and local stone, I wanted to prove that every choice can be climatic, cultural, and aesthetic at the same time. Sustainability is born from community, never alone. 3 ancient cisterns collect over 100,000 liters of rainwater each year. We irrigate the garden and trees without ever using the public water supply. The Trullo is nestled in 1 hectare of land, an entire living ecosystem. Oaks, almond trees, pomegranates, and figs protect the soil, absorb CO2, and tell the story of life's natural cycle. The garden is open to guests, encouraging small yet mindful actions. This Trullo proves that even a small rural house can become a model of climate resilience without giving up beauty, comfort, or local identity. The future of tourism doesn't lie in building more. It lies in caring better. And if you listen closely, among these stones, you'll hear the breath of roots. It's the same breath that now welcomes every guest at Trullo Bio. because sleeping here feels like waking up in the future.
And it's after a break, and it's been a long day, and it's still far from being over because we have exciting things ahead of us. We are having still another panel, and we are having a very important award ceremony, and after that, an exciting evening in the desert. I'm sure everybody is really looking forward to that part as well. So I would like to invite you, those who are still standing, to take a seat so that we can start with our final panel for today. So as I was already on the stage today, but still to introduce myself, my name is Jana Apich, and I'm Executive Director of Green Destinations. And we'll be with you here today running the last panel on the developing beneficial travel experience, let's say for all. So this theme explores how destinations and tourism businesses can design experiences that not only delight tourists and travelers, but also strengthen local communities, protect the environment, and preserve cultural identity. Developing new travel offers that are meaningful, ethical, and community-driven enriches both the visitor experiences and the well-being of a destination. To open this session, it's my pleasure to invite Mr. Adam McEwen, Chief Executive Director of Hero Experience Group, for a special presentation on how innovative and responsible tourism experience can combine luxury, authenticity, and sustainability. Mr. McCowell is recognized leader in luxury and sustainable tourism. With a background in international business and tourism management, he began his career in the cruise industry and later joined Emirates Airlines to oversee tours and safaris. In 2012, he co-founded Platinum Heritage, pioneering eco-conscious desert safaris, and celebrate culture authenticity. Today, through Hero Experience Group, he continues to redefine travel through innovation, sustainability, and immersive experience. Please join me on the stage and welcome.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. As Jana said, my name is Adam McEwen, the Group CEO of the Hero Experiences Group. However, I think Jana did a better introduction to the group than I will. So instead, I'd like to maybe tell you a bit of a story. And it's a story that started my, let's say, mission to help replicate some of the things that happened to me when I was younger. A bit of a spoiler alert, this may age me a little bit, so you may work out how old I am from this story. But when I was younger, I actually graduated from high school at a very tender age of 16. I was very, very young, and I started university straight away. So I had just had my 17th birthday when I started university. And about a year later, I realized that that was not for me. I needed to go out and explore the world, and explore the world I did. So for 18 months, I went as far away from my homeland of Australia as I possibly could to work out what the world had to offer me. So I traveled to places like, this one on the left is Syria, on the right, there's no prizes for guessing where the one on the right is. I'd hitchhiked across Mongolia, I'd been through India, I'd been to Tibet, and I really wanted to kind of, let's say, find myself and find the world at the same time. For those of you who remember, this was a pre-digital age. There was no email at the time, there was no internet, there was no Google searches. All you had is the advice of other travelers, and maybe, if you wanted to admit it, a dog-eared Lonely Planet guide in your pocket. And that's how I basically traveled, I think, to about 40 countries in that year and a half. But at one stage, I found myself in Turkey. This was in 1994, so again, I'm going to age myself a bit. Turkey in 1994 is very different to Turkey in 2025. I think there's been about 10 to 12 times more tourists since. And Turkey back then was, let's say, off the beaten track. Those of you who have watched The Beach with Leonardo DiCaprio, if you've ever seen that movie, that whole story is about these hidden destinations and these secret places that people would tell you about. And you had to be one of the like-minded people to be trusted with the secret of this destination. And Turkey started to whisper about one of these destinations called Butterfly Valley. It wasn't in Lonely Planet. I couldn't look it up. I couldn't Google it at that time. Didn't know what a Google was. But everyone started talking about this place, Butterfly Valley. So eventually I talked my way into the knowledge of how to get there, which was a small boat from a place called Aludines. And then from there, we go to this place here that you'll see called Butterfly Valley. So I arrived up to the valley in a small little private rented boat, rickety old wooden boat. You have to jump off the boat, and there's a couple of guys there, like maybe 12 years old, that help you with your backpack to get you across to the island. Once there, it was just open shacks, as in open, no roof, just a platform shack, with a whole bunch of, let's say, like-minded people sleeping out under the stars in this place called Butterfly Valley. On either side, you see these mountainous, really, really mountainous cliffs on both sides, and a village on top. To get to the village was a very arduous but very worthwhile hike to go up and have a look. So these young boys that have been helping people, maybe for a tip of $1 or $2, were hiking down every day from the village at the top to go down and meet the arrivals when they saw the boats coming. And I was out swimming, of course, as you would be. I was out swimming a few days later, and I noticed it was getting a little bit rough. And I could see these boys were really having trouble. And I was like, it can't be that these kids can't swim. How could you grow up in a place like this and not know how to swim? So I actually approached them and I asked them, do you guys know how to swim? And they confirmed they did not know how to swim. Living in this beautiful Mediterranean paradise, they didn't know how to swim. So back in high school, I was a very competitive swimmer. So I took that as a bit of a personal challenge, and I decided I was going to teach these boys how to swim. And they were incredibly enthusiastic. No one had ever offered to teach. No one in their village knew how to swim. So I took it upon myself over the next 10 days or so to teach these boys how to swim. And to say they took to it like a duck out of water, sorry for the pun, but it is exactly what they did. They absolutely love the water, and they really started appreciating where they lived, their own destination. For me, I'd been, let's say, not around the world. I'd been to a lot of places around the world. And this was probably the first time I'd had the opportunity to actually give back. When I'd been traveling, I'd been taking, I'd been observing, I'd been taking in the sights, I'd been trying to learn what I could, but I'd been taking from these destinations. And this was the first time I actually felt like I was positively contributing, giving back. And I realized that was an anchor moment for me. That was a memory that would stay with me for a long time. And that really started me on my journey, where I realized that I was head over heels in love with the travel industry, and that was where I was going to stay. But more particularly, I wanted to try and help people replicate that feeling I had of positively contributing towards their travel experience. So some time later, I had the opportunity of founding the Hero Experiences Group. And I wanted to, let's say, keep the authenticity of a destination. And that had become a more difficult thing. You know, there was now Starbucks around the world. There was Google searches. There were lots of ways that people would find information. And from my, let's say, nostalgic viewpoint, a lot of the destinations were starting to feel very much the same. So we really embarked on taking people back in a journey in time, where we started Platinum Heritage, which I hope you all enjoyed tonight, where we wanted to take people back to a moment in time, which was the 1950s. Dubai in the 1950s, which was a very different place. So that collection is based on creating people's anchor memories and allowing them to become the hero of their own story. Not being a passenger and sitting passively, but actively participating in the experience. And that has been the journey of the Hero Experiences Group, to create these anchor memories, which is a bold responsibility that we have. When I say anchor memory, most people go through their days, not today, of course, I'm sure today is a special day for everyone, but most days blend into the other. There's a few moments in your life that you know you're going to remember this day. It may be a graduation day, wedding day, birth of a child, and maybe your first vacation away. And it's at that moment that you know you're doing something special. So this is what we try to replicate. We try to provide experiences for people that is anchored, a memory that they would last forever. So whether it be flying a hot air balloon for the first time over, let's say, the beautiful ruins of Hegra in Alula in Saudi Arabia, or whether it be participating in a safari like you will tonight in a 1950s Land Rover, retracing the footsteps of the Bedouin, really unchanged from 75 years ago. These are the mission that we have to create. So I think I've explained my motivation enough. I haven't spoken much about the Hero Experiences Group. I think I'd rather keep that for the panel discussion so I can answer my questions in reference to the Hero Experiences Group. So thank you very much. I hope you enjoy your dinner tonight, and please just stay with us for a few minutes for the panel discussion. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Adam, for that. I'm really sure we will all enjoy our night and our evening, and it's going to be one of the anchor moments, memories we will have in this conference for sure. So thank you for this inspiring start of our panel discussion. So it is now my big pleasure to also invite our panelists to the podium. So beside Adam, who is going to join us on the stage, again, we have also two other panelists, which well, first is, I'm really sorry, but I'm not very good at pronunciation of these a little bit unusual names. Mahamesh, maybe you can help me with your surname. Gopala Krishnan, not something far from being right, but still, please excuse me, and I would like to invite you. Mr. Mahamesh leads India's first large-scale sustainable culture theme park in Mahabalipuram. Okay. Wow, a lot of difficult names. Under the Mata, again? That. With over 18 years of experiences as an architect and green building professional, he brings a wealth of knowledge and integrating sustainability, heritage, and an immersive visitor's experience into destination design. So welcome. And I have a privilege to invite another panelist to our podium, Mr. Professor Dr. Wolfgang Georg Arlt, Executive Director of Meaningful Tourism Center. Professor Dr. Wolfgang is the founder of Executive Director of the Meaningful Tourism Center and one of the most influential voices in international tourism development. With more than 4 decades of experiences, he has introduced the meaningful tourism paradigm, a framework that balances benefits among travelers, communities, and the environment, creating experiences and true and that truly matter. But of course, instead of, yeah, I will invite you and we will have a little chat. So let's start now. First, we had a really interesting presentation. Thank you, Adam, for that. But we will go back first to our other panelists. First, I would like to ask Mahesh to introduce himself and tell a little bit more about what you are doing. But maybe just a little guidance on that. We decided that we are going to make this panel a little bit more personal, because we believe that tourism, especially, well, tourism in itself, and especially sustainable tourism, is a very personal thing. When we just heard about anchoring our memories, which is very personal for us as a visitor, what we experience, what we take with us, we dream about our holidays for the whole year, and then we finally go and we want the experiences to be what they were promised. And on the other hand, whenever we speak to people working in sustainability in tourism, we always can see that it is something that people are super passionate about. It's very hard to work in sustainability if this is really not part of your core values. So I think that is something that drives us all, everybody in this podium today and in between all our guests. So I would like to make it personal, as Adam already did with his presentation. So how and why did you come to where you are and started to work in sustainable tourism? What it is to you and what was your journey?
To introduce myself, I'm Mahesh Gopalakrishnan. Basically, as was told, I'm the director of the largest cultural theme park upcoming. My life started as an architect, and that was basically how I started. And my passion to tourism came when I was asked to design certain spaces. So when you design a home and when you design for a tourist destination, the approaches are different. And I come from a country of a varied culture called Bharat, and I come from a state called Kerala, where it's called God's own country. We believe that Aditi Devo Bhava, that means we treat guests as God. And I belong to God's own country. Now, here was my approach. Who is a visitor? How do you make him a part of an experience rather than a travel? So this was which made me to think about to make a space which is acceptable, appreciable, and in fact, you experience that place. So this is how my approach was. Second, when I started to come with Mr. Mahadevan and all this here, they made me into the green building sustainability aspects. In fact, these concepts are in our roots. Our culture had this, we practiced this, but we forgot it somewhere around the way. In fact, green destinations is basically green, how to make an effective storytelling in the purest form of that enjoying that space. That is where, when we design certain beaches, when we certain temples, when people go there, we recreate the storytelling such that people get a feel that, wow, this is what India is. This is what we should be proud of. This is for Indians. When we go, for people like you coming to my place, you are my guests, we treat you, and you say, wow, this is what India is. So this is how a storytelling effectively to showcase the culture, and the culture is hospitality, and hospitality means what? Every visitor is happy and experience my culture. For me, my profession was like a pilgrimage. So every day, what I seek new is new for me. I try to imbibe whatever is good for me. When you come to my particular park in Mahabalipuram, this is one of the UNESCO sites, which has been a daily visitation of around 35,000 people. The growth is too much, the footprint is too much. So we had a sustained approach to it. How to make it into a customized itinerary We had we made a lot of trails. Example for sculptors, Mahabalipuram is very famous for sculpturing. So we divided the people rather than in a showcase format. We divided based on their interest. People who are interested in biodiversity, people who are interested in sculpturing, people who are interested in cycling. So such that we started to make itineraries in way that people experience that place rather than seeing it, just putting in cameras and memories and going out. So this is how experience our culture, experience tourism. That is which made me to as a passion. Thank you.
Thank you, Mahesh, for this really nice introduction. I think, yeah, it comes from the heart, you can see it, and it is your motto of life, and you bring that to a destination and to your work. So I will also ask actually the same question to Dr. Wolfgang about his journey, bringing him here today actually, and being an important driver of how to align all the roles in this circle of tourism.
Yeah, thank you very much. And of course, the older you are, the more you have to tell, hopefully. So I can say that my journey started studying about China. And at that time, there was almost the only job you could do in the 1980s was going into tourism. So that's what I did. And I became a tour operator. And afterwards, I became a professor for international tourism management. And for decades, I've been working, helping international destinations how to make Chinese tourists happy, how to attract them, and how to make them happy. And I was the China guy. But then, of course, something happened in 2020, which changed, I think, for everybody in this room, our life, the pandemic. And suddenly, and also at the same time, I retired from my university job. And then we all had enough time to think about the future of tourism, and there were lots of debates. And I found that in all the different approaches, responsible tourism and later regenerative tourism and so on, there was always a concentration on some parts of the stakeholders. And of course, so one, like obviously concentrating on the experience of the travelers, and then people were talking about the host communities. Obviously, we were talking about the environment, and there were always solutions for a part of the problem. So, and I thought, coming from an Asian perspective maybe, there needs to be a holistic approach where we look at all the stakeholders and so give benefits and satisfaction, so benefits, objective benefits, jobs, money, regional development, careful use of environment, but also subjective satisfaction to all the stakeholders, and not balance, but align interests. I think as long as you say you want to balance something, it is very easy to fall to this side or that side. So our job is not to balance, our job is to align interests. And so this is when I started to develop this idea of meaningful tourism. And meaningful, I'm happy to hear this word used a lot today, but this is meaningful with a capital M. So meaningful tourism is a paradigm, is a set of ideas, of tools with a scientific background. We have been pushing things. And in my personal journey, I have been very, very happy and grateful that I found by now about 50 people all over the world who are certified trainers for meaningful tourism, and I have a couple of them here today. So there's Ali, there's Nurgul, there's Chitana, and there's also Biopwa somewhere. So so we developed together this idea of meaningful tourism, and tomorrow morning I have the privilege to be again with you in a workshop, and then I will give you some more examples of two places in Nepal, because part of my journey has also been that after the pandemic was over and I wanted to go away from boring Europe to Asia, so that I moved to Nepal, and I'm living now in Kathmandu, and I'm very happy with that. And so that is also something where I feel closer to sustainable tourism developments. But certainly, as you have been saying, So we have every Tuesday, we have a jour fixe Zoom call with the trainers. And each time I feel so empowered. There's so much strength coming, especially from our Black African lady trainers. So they're so powerful, so strong, so clear in what they want to achieve. So that you get this energy even through Zoom. And it is clearly passion, which is a key point. And I think if you are working in the industry, it takes 5 minutes to find out if somebody is greenwashing, blah, 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 or if somebody is really into that feeling. And so this is what we try to do. And just maybe to add one point, because this was also mentioned already a couple of times. So meaningful tourism is saying you have to have benefits and satisfaction for all the 6 main stakeholders, which are the travelers, the host community, the employees, which are often forgotten in sustainable tourism discussions, the companies, the governments, and the environment. So all 6. And you have to have KPIs. You have to have measurements where you say, okay, we want to improve for each stakeholder their situation from this level to the next level. And for that, we will do smart KPIs where we say, this is what we want to achieve with these actions. And after half a year or 1 year, you measure if this has been achieved or not. So that is not something saying in 2050 we will be carbon free for, come on, 25 years. Who will remember that? We can be happy if we are still alive. Maybe not me, but you. So something which is short term, which is achievable, measurable, which also makes it transparent. Because what happened, if I may, one more sentence, what happened is tourism lost its good name. So we used to be the good guys. Now we are the how dare you people. So we are polluting just for fun. So you see the number of students enrolling in tourism and hospitality is going down. So it's not sexy anymore to study tourism as it used to be before the pandemic. And also people are now rather be ashamed of saying, oh, I went for a holiday flying 6 hours somewhere. So that is something you can't brag anymore about. So we have to go back to be the good guys with the help of people like you, obviously. But also for that, we need to be transparent. We need to show people that tourism is a force for good, not, so we are part of the solution, not a part of the problem. But for that we need transparency, for that we need data, as we just talked before, and for that we need KPIs to measure this data. And not just saying for one stakeholder, but for all of them. So that is where I have arrived in my thinking after many years, and where I'm very happy that I find colleagues and friends who are going with this. And I'm also, of course, very happy to be here with Green Destinations, and also hope that we can also do this journey together in the future. And so this is something where it is not a choice to change. You have AI, you have climate change, you have new demand structures. You have to change. So it is about survival, not about being nice, what we are talking about. And this is something where I think we are all together having a job to make this clear to the people running the show.
Thank you, Doctor. I think you put it together, everything really nicely, and I think we all can sign up under that. So, but I will go back to you, Adam. One question, I think it's, having all the stakeholders in mind and everything, it's one question that it's many times disputed a little bit. It's like how luxury and sustainability can go hand in hand. Because when you talk about luxury, many people would really think about overspending and expecting a huge consumption, let's say so. But on the other hand, we all know that luxury can also drive sustainability because it has access to funds, to maybe larger amount of money for investments that in other side cannot be done. So how do you see that? Where is luxury when you put it into this bubble of sustainability? How do you manage those different interests of people coming to your tours?
Great. Well, thank you very much for the question. So I think you have to understand why you're in business in the first place. Start with the why and go out from there. So I think if you understand that you're trying to achieve something special for somebody else, you're then respectful of that person. You want to respect their time. You want to respect the money that they've invested. But you want to respect the environment that you're in. You want to respect your staff. Well put. That seems to be forgotten. I'll agree with that one very often. You want to respect the culture that you're representing. You want to represent the country with respect that you're in. So when respect is the central tenement to everything that you do, luxury then follows through. Because when people have different definitions of luxury, it's not about how many thread count sheets you have if you mistreat your guests. It's about the way you make people feel. We have what has commonly been termed in the industry as unreasonable hospitality. It's where you go to unreasonable lengths to surprise, to make sure that people's needs are exceeded. So if you overhear a conversation and somebody's looking for something different on the dish, you'll go out of your way to provide that for them, even if it's not on the menu. So it's about attention. You're paying attention to the needs of the person. And that's really what luxury is. Not treating them as a number, not treating them as a number on a spreadsheet, as in don't treat them as a dollar sign. Treat them with respect, and that is a luxurious service.
Yeah. Can I go to you, Mahesh? What is luxury for you in sustainability? Because, engaging tourists in a cultural experiences, it's luxury in itself, not in the way of like overspending, but in the way of getting in touch with you. And luxury can also be part of your personal journey. So as Adam said, it depends how you see it. You think that how is cultural experience you are designing to your guests in line with their expectations, and where are they on this personal journey?
In fact, in the new normal, what we call after the pandemic, it's a way to redefine luxury. Because luxury is not only creature comfort. What you term as luxury pre-COVID was luxury star hotels, resorts. You enjoy the nature, the tranquility. But now it's a situation where we need to refocus or re-engineer our thought process in such a way that this earth has to be handed over to an upcoming generations also. Are you terming luxury on the cost of your upcoming generations, or are you conservatively using your resources? We have plundered our resources. We have to pay a price for it. That price, the so-called luxury has to pay for it. We need alternatives. We are not so late. Our dissolved oxygens are almost to be zero. Our levels of soil sequestrations are almost coming zero. So we need to have a revival, and that has a cost, and that cost has to be taken so-called luxury. But again, if you go with sustainable practices, go for, rather than high funda investments, why can't we go for small, sober, and everyone in the community gets, for example, take Mahabalipuram. We are planning in such a way that I told you 35,000 people are coming. We have 5-star hotels, and we have only single-star or non-star hotels. We took up an initiative. There are a lot of farmlands. There are a lot of people who are staying with farmlands. We are funding them with good quality housings. We are upskilling them, the hospitality. So what happens here? We are giving them same luxury what you expect in the star hotel. We are giving them the same hospitality. We are upskilling the people, including laundry. So what happens? Rather than going at a higher cost, invite the community, handhold them. And if you take today, Minimum, you say in Indian rupees, it's 5,000 rupees for 2 packs. That is almost $50. Almost $50 is getting for the local community around 5 square kilometers. If it would have been taken over by a huge resort, a huge condominium, these people will remain the poor. They are the victims of this luxury. Now let us think in such a way that rediscover luxury, that package is being availed, enjoyed not only by visitors but also by the community. So I think there is a cost on it. The so-called luxury has to take it. Sustainable practices has to come in. Thereby, we can give this world as a better world to an upcoming generation. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. You would like to comment on that as well?
Yes, I think this is, I fully subscribe to this. And I think also the good news is that the demand structure is moving into this direction. So Adam was using the word transformational. And I think this is something what we are seeing now, that people are asking, again, with the experience of pandemic in their mind, for transformational experiences. And that is only possible with the local people and with happy employees you're meeting, so that this is something where you stop taking a photo of some different looking guy, but you start talking to him. And now, thanks to AI, we have smartphones which can be our translator. So you speak in German and it talks in Hindi to you. No problem anymore. So the language barrier, which was a big problem, is gone, more or less. So therefore, this is exactly the way that now we can offer exactly special interest tours, special interest experiences, what people really want. And then you can also, we had this discussion today, how can you bring people to specific destinations in competition to many other people. As long as you have a beach resort, which is just like any other beach resort, the only differentiation is price. If you can say, okay, you can go to a place and you can learn South Indian cuisine, how to cook South Indian cuisine. You have to go to South India, obviously. And if you want to learn this from a family, you can go into a family. This is something, it's a unique experience, and probably something which stays in your mind. You cannot do this in a Hilton hotel, and you cannot do this in another country. So I think this is where luxury becomes something that I would say my definition of luxury is a bit different. It's things you can't buy with money, so things you can't organize yourself. So things you need still a tour operator for, because for many things we don't need a tour operator. When I came here, I booked my ticket for my flight, I booked my hotel. What do I need a tour operator? But for this kind of experiences, you still need a tour operator, and you still need the cooperation of the host community, the employees, the companies, the government, which give you a visa, hopefully, and also, of course, do this in a way. If you do it with the locals will be interested that the environment is not destroyed or damaged because it's theirs. So, and if you are invited into the family, it becomes yours. So then people are not reacting to signs, it's forbidden to walk across the grass. We all know they walk across the grass anyway. But if this is your grass, because you feel connected, then you will stop doing that.
Thank you so much. We don't have much more time, but we can take one question from the public. Is there any question for our panelists? Yes, we have one over there.
My question is for Adam. You've been doing amazing, and I'm from Nepal, so I was just thinking, how can we replicate the same adventure which you are doing in Nepal, where there is no desert, but might be something adventurous, you know? And probably we can do a business collaboration soon.
Sure. So it's the essence of the experience. So we also started a branch in Alula in Saudi Arabia, in a stunning location where we actually go through 5 different biomes, and it's through canyons and mountains, through like most amazing plains. It's actually an area we're consulting with the Smithsonian to release the Arabian leopard as well. So it has nothing to do with the desert safaris. We also did a project a while ago in a place called Harat Kaiba. If you want to Google that, it's an unbelievable place. Again, about 3 hours north of Medina. And it's a full volcano field, like hundreds of extinct volcanoes. So we started doing volcano safaris as well. But each of those were anchored to that particular destination with that particular culture. So we were showcasing that. We weren't importing what we do in Dubai to a new destination. We were studying that destination, and we were seeing where is the most exciting way of showcasing, you know, this natural environment. So Nepal is a beautiful country. I've been. I remember actually whitewater rafting down the Kali Gandaki, probably one of those anchor memories I was talking about before. But Nepal has stunning landscapes, so that would be easy to replicate. So happy to have a chat with you.
Maybe if I can add a preview of coming attractions. Tomorrow morning, I will give 2 examples from Nepal, where you can see what you can do to have wonderful experiences and transformational experiences also in Nepal. So, and I hope you will add some more to that.
Well, I think this is a great example of what is the purpose of events like that, to share knowledge and experience and to build networks and cooperation. So I'm really happy for this kind of discussions. We have one more question, please, over there, and then we have to wrap it up.
Hi there. Yeah, you've mentioned a lot about sort of like developing meaningful experiences. Sorry, can you hear me? You've mentioned a lot about developing meaningful experiences and traveling to different countries in order to do that. How do you strike the balance between providing as many people those experiences and maintaining cultural integrity in the places that you're visiting? I mean, I think all of you are pretty, anyone can answer that, but yeah.
You mean to say, see, basically, if you come to India, or particularly Mahabalipuram, again, see, what is the difference? You see an ancient monument and go. You just see it as a normal artifact, a museum and go. You see the story there. Evening you go, you eat the same food, you have the same dress, you stay in the same cottage of the same architecture of that place. Morning you rise up, you carry a scissors in your hand, you cut the vegetables, then you cook you have a customized cook with you. You make your own breakfast. You go with the farmer into the farmlands. You go with the sculptor into the sculptor yards. That is redefining experience. If you would have normal come, you would have just come out of a cab, you have seen this exhibit, thank you, take some photographs and gone. Converting that into an experience is what is storytelling. That storytelling is something which is a value addition to, which makes your travel into an experience. This is somewhere we want to make experience. You live with them. What about the guest? What about the host? Host, what do you think? You are coming from a particular nation. You understand their habits. You understand their culture. You talk with them. Where in Hilton you talk with someone? You don't talk with someone. So that is the way. Redefine. You be a part of it for everyone. For the host as well as the guest, you are a part of it. That's what I think.
Can I take a stab at that?
Yeah, sure.
I'll address that from an operator perspective, because we have very practical ways to measure these things. And we've actually found that it's a very delicate balance. It's a very difficult balance to make. So for us, we have noticed a difference post-COVID as well, that space and exclusivity and privacy has become a lot more important. So we actually had to adapt by reducing our numbers on most of our experiences. So you'd say that's counterproductive. As a business, we want to grow. We need to grow. You know, staff like pay rises, they like promotions, they like new opportunities. So how do you grow a business when you're shrinking the business? And the answer is, our answer was to scale, and scale outward. So not scale up, but scale sideways, which is why we're looking at new destinations like Saudi Arabia, for example, where we would rather have, you know, let's say 100 people in 10 locations than 1,000 people in one location. Because to answer the further question, that is not luxurious. It's not luxurious when you have to line up for a bathroom. It's not luxurious when you have to line up for food. It's not luxurious when you're bumping shoulders with strangers. For us, the magic number seems to be around 100. As soon as you have more than 100 people, which is about the number in this room, as soon as you have more than that, that seems to be too much for our operation. So we either need to create alternate solutions, different camps, different solutions, different locations. I think that number of 100 to 150 has been studied quite scientifically as well. So for us, it's back off and continue to back off. And we've seen a lot more private experiences. People want to be alone with their family and friends or partner, and we've had to adapt to that as well.
Yeah, so and I think from a destination perspective, the same is true as well. We are all complaining about over-tourism in some places, so, but of course, we are telling the story. And if you tell, we discussed about India, if you tell people this is the most famous, the oldest, the best temple in South India, then everybody will go there. So, and then we are complaining there are too many people. So there are certainly 100 very important temples in South India. And if you say more specifically, this is the one with the best wood carving. This is the best with the best stone carving. This is the one with the erotic figures. This is maybe the one which was there was a famous history moment happening there. Then the people can choose what they want to see, and you will spread people there. So this is for you as an operator. You go to different places, and it is the same for on an industry perspective. So if we tell the right stories, why you should go to different places for different interests, then we will disperse people, and we don't need crowd control. There will be a few places that everybody wants to see the Taj Mahal, everybody wants to see Notre Dame. There you have to do something, but for the most, the 99% of the places, we can do this. So we are creating our own problems, but we can also create our own solutions. And of course, that will help a sustainable development of tourism.
Thank you so much. I think this was such a nice conclusion, but maybe to just wrap it up, something, I think that listening to your answers and to questions as well, I can't help but think, it all comes back to management, right? How we manage our places, how you manage your tours, and that's why sustainability management is something that is super important. I come from Slovenia, which is a very small country. We are only 2 million people in the heart of Europe, very green country. And we have this destination who always says that they understand management of their destination, that their destination is like their living room. And you invite those people you want in your living room, and you have specific rules how you want people to behave in your living room. And I think this is a nice, you want to feel good, you want your family feel good, and you want people who, so that's kind of, and that is a luxury whenever you actually invite someone in your destination, in your living room, and you attend to them, and you give them that feeling they're special, but you have in consideration everyone else as well. So I think this is a nice conclusion of this panel. I would like to thank all our panelists for these really good insights. Thank you so much. And do please find them, later on, and have some other discussions and listen to the presentation tomorrow from Dr. Wolfgang. So thank you so much. And I'm happy to invite you to the next stage of our event today. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
One of my favorite things in life, and what regenerates me, is going into expansive wilderness. The people who come here, they will experience that too.
Good morning.
Hey, Nikki, how's it going? You ready to head out?
Let's do it.
All right, follow me.
We're getting this new trend of luxury tourism where they're going for nature.
The first pillar of regenerative tourism is conservation.
These reefs are absolutely amazing, and they're virtually unexplored.
The goal is now to keep it pristine. Oh, what an amazing time. You know, a lot of people just see these plants, but within these plants, there's all the sorts of wildlife.
Oh, look. So you see that little jellyfish right there? So that's the upside-down jellyfish.
Oh, really?
So he eats sunlight, and it's photosynthesizing right now.
That's amazing.
The rarest herbivore that we get around here is the dugong.
This is their home.
This is their home.
We have amazing tropical reefs here. We have amazing desert habitats. We have mountains. There's so much that one person can experience.
That's what I love about this place.
That was epic.
Some would say that we have driven hours to see the sunset, but we're actually only 10 minutes from the sea. The moon is up, and it's almost the time for our stargazing.
This is quite unique in the way that guests can enjoy this astronomy experience.
It is. We're designing all the lights to be dark sky friendly. That makes the place very special for astrotourism. The whole community is connected to the stars in terms of stories and history. It is engraving your culture in the sky, and the guests are also ambassadors to spreading that culture. Tonight, we're seeing the
Not really the final stage of this day, because we have still an exciting evening ahead of us, but still it's a time when we are giving the awards to different destinations on different programs of green destinations. So please do take your seats. So I'm really happy to be able to again greet you in the name of the Green Destinations, and opening this award ceremony to acknowledge Green Destination Awards and Certification Program for destinations. Through our awards and certification programs, Green Destination provides internationally recognized frameworks that help destinations of all sizes, from small towns and islands to major cities and protected areas, to manage tourism more sustainably. These programs are built upon the Green Destination Standard, a globally recognized set of sustainability criteria accredited by Global Sustainable Tourism Council. They enable destinations to measure progress, engage stakeholders, and commit to continuous improvement through independent audits and transparent reporting. Destinations that achieve certifications or award status demonstrate excellence in awards such as environmental protection, community well-being, heritage preservation, and visitor satisfaction, proving that responsible tourism can be both measurable and meaningful, as we heard today already. Today, we are proud to celebrate 2 destinations that have achieved significant milestones through their participation in our programs. So it gives me a big pleasure to invite, I'm again having problems with names, Sauda Phone from Luang Prabang, Laos, from Laos, to the stage to receive their certificate. Here you go. Congratulations. Thank you. Yes. So we should stand so that we can still see the name. Yeah. Okay. So we gave the award today already to Expo City Dubai, but still I would like to invite the team from Expo City Dubai to the stage so we can make a group picture with our certified destinations. Congratulations. Sustainability is not one person job. So thank you and congratulations once again. We now move to the next part of our celebration, the Green Destination Story Awards ceremony. As many of you know, the Green Destinations Top 100 Stories list was unveiled last month in our yearly event in Montpellier, Global Green Destination Conference, which took place in September. The top 100 stories highlight real, replicable examples of sustainable tourism initiatives from around the world. You can see the list, it's really from around the world. Stories that inspire, educate, and demonstrate the meaningful change is possible. Today, we are thrilled to continue the celebration here in Dubai by recognizing several of those destinations that made it to the list 2025 Top 100 Stories, receiving their certificates. So I would like to invite to the stage our top 100 destinations to take a group photo. So we have Subic Bay Metropolitan Authorities from the Philippines. We have Mamallapuram from India. We have Baipur, India. We have Menderes from Turkey. And we have from Australia, Central Coast and Townsville. So please do come to the stage for a group photo. We can also take independent pictures later if you want. So thank you so much for coming, and thank you for all the inspiring stories you provide for us. So from the Top 100 2025 list, we have nominated 36 destinations for the Green Destination Story Awards 2026. That will be happening in there are 6 categories, and 6 stories have been selected for each of the category. The winners will be announced at the ITB Berlin next year as part of our annual tradition. And now it's time to unveil those nominees. So can we have a video, please? So congratulations to all the nominees. I tell you, it was a difficult job to select those. We have really received so many inspiring stories. But we have a few destinations here today with us, and I would like to invite them on stage. Townsville, Lanzarote, and Chiang-Clan. So please do join me on the stage so we can have another group photo. So now we can only keep our fingers crossed that our nominated destinations are also going to be the winners at the ITB. So now we would like to start the second part of our award ceremony, and I would like to invite Albert Salman, the founder of Green Destination and the CEO of Good Travel Institute, to join us on the stage for the final leg of this ceremony. Thank you so much.
It's quite difficult to create an award-winning story illustrating a new element of tourism sustainability, I can tell you, as part of the jury. It's even more difficult to certify your destination according to the Green Destination Standard or the GSC standard. But perhaps most difficult of all is to become, or to be, a front runner in part of sustainability in a continent as big as Asia. So therefore, the Good Travel Alliance, which is a cooperation of 23 destinations and top experts in tourism sustainability, founded in ITB this year, so very new, have decided to take advantage of this event here today to honor a number of frontrunners in tourism sustainability in this continent, in Asia. First, I would like to invite Melih, representing Izmir Metropolitan Municipality, for being the front-running destination for sustainable tourism in Turkey. Melih, congratulations. You have tried to tell the stories of Izmir till now, but now your own story is getting awarded. So what is the achievement that you are most proud of? Everything that you did. So please use this microphone.
Thank you, Albert. Thank you, Green Destination family. This award means a lot to me because tomorrow is the 102nd anniversary of founding of Republic of Turkey, my country. Our leader, Mustafa Kemal Atatürk, has a word, the one who loves his country is the one who does his best. And this award is a sign that we did a good job. FLR Road, before FLR Road was selected among the top 100 stories in 2023, the project has lost its significance. But after selected in top 100 stories, the project has received the importance it deserved. Now the project has an annual budget. It hosts international events, and 15 tour operators are organizing sustainable tours. Urla Vineyard route, it was also earned People's Choice Award at ITB 2025. Now we are joining Itervitis, one of the cultural routes of Council of Europe, with Urla Vineyard route, and we are trying to establish Izmir Vineyard route with sustainability principles. The most important achievement for us, we didn't have a destination management office 3 years ago, but during this process, we have established a destination management office, and I would like to thank to my team for doing this great job. And another, the important achievement is we have transferred all these efforts from a unit label project into a division. And this we have done in the last 3 years. So ITB 2025 Green Destination Awards was excellent for us. It was a great achievement. And now we can't wait to see you and meet you again at ITB again. Thank you.
Keep smiling for such a long time is quite difficult, actually. Nevertheless, because unless it's I mean, a great moment. Jordan Tourism Board, recognizing its role as a leading tourism board for good travel experiences in Asia, would have been represented by Mr. Wael Al-Rusan, but last minute he had to apologize. So he has mandated Maisha Shahidit, who was also from Jordan, and he was one of our panelists, to receive the certificate. You don't have to talk, don't worry. We are just taking a very short picture because the official picture and the photo will happen in Amman in a couple of days or weeks. So please join us at the stage. Next, tough tigers. For championing and advancing wildlife, please come forward. Yes, the delegation, all of you. For championing and advancing wildlife and nature conservation through responsible travel across India and Nepal. With its travel trade campaign, it unites accommodations, destination management companies, and international tour operators to inspire lodges, homestays, and destinations to operate sustainably, empower local communities, and protect natural habitats. Through rigorous certification, advocacy, and training programs, TOFT fosters a tourism model that gives back more than it takes, preserving biodiversity while enhancing livelihoods. By aligning travelers, businesses, and governments under the shared vision of Travel for Good, TOFT sets the standard for conservation-led, community-driven, and climate-resilient tourism. Ritu and colleagues, congratulations again. Then Sri Lanka Tourism Development Authority is welcome to the stage. I think we have at least Chintana and perhaps, okay, great. They are recognized for its role in pioneering sustainability certification for micro and small businesses, which is unique throughout Sri Lanka. And I invite project leader Mr. Chintana Duminduheva to receive the award on behalf of SLTDA, and no doubt you will have the pleasure to present the certificate to the board and chairman of the SLTDA in a couple of days or weeks. Then Dr. Jewett, representing DASTA, and you've been on the podium earlier, and this is also illustrating the importance and the pioneering role that DASTA, and especially Dr. Jewett himself, has been playing in tourism sustainability promotion and cooperation in a country as big as Thailand. So please come here to give your acceptance speech.
Thank you very much. I think this award is not only for the pride of DASTA, but symbolically is the pride of the nation as well. I will tell the Thai societies about the pride of receiving such a prestigious award, and it really encourages us to move forward, more stronger and stronger, and we will encourage our partners to work harder and harder in the circle of sustainable tourism development. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Jewett. Please stay center stage, because together with you, we have the jury of the Good Travel Alliance has decided also to honor the role of Professor K, sorry, just a second, here's my script. Muangasama, Kevta Muangasama, whom we know as K, for her role in bringing partners together. And I think both you and Kay have created something unique that the world can learn from. So that's why I'm going to present you with the two certificates, and one of them I hope you will share soon with Kay. One award winner is not from Asia. It is actually Travel Life for tour operators. In partnership with the Pacific Asia Travel Association, known as PATA, Travel Life has been supporting tour operators across Asia for over a decade. With the recent backing of the EU Switch Asia program, more than 1,000 companies in 36 Asian countries have joined the Travel Life for tour operator certification program, resulting in over 200 awards and certifications. This collaboration has established a common sustainability standard and a strong regional network of committed tour operators, laying the foundation for continued progress towards a more sustainable Asian tourism sector. So the director, Nout Custos, has asked Chintana and Ritu, who are two of the representatives in Asia, to receive the certificate on his behalf. So I would like to continue a little bit, not with awards, but with a word of thanks to those of the funding agencies that have helped to support a lot of the work that we've been seeing in Asia. And I would like to mention the role of the World Bank, of the Asian Development Bank, EU Switch Asia Program, Swiss Contact, GIZ, UN Tourism, and EXO Foundation. I would like to thank them and congratulate them with the success that they have been reaching through their programs and projects in many countries in Asia, and I would like to encourage them, continue to do that, and hopefully you can do even more. So let's thank them as well. So we have come to the end of this award ceremony. The next awards actually will be presented at the Green Destinations event in the Qatar Travel Markt, November 24 to 26 in Doha. And anyone interested in that event can talk to Iyad. You know him, he's also been showing up 20 times on this podium. So what an incredible day it has been, filled with learning, inspiration, and celebration. To all our speakers, delegates, and award-winning destinations, thank you for being part of this movement forward towards a more sustainable, inclusive, and resilient future for tourism. On behalf of Green Destinations, Expo City Dubai, and our partners, thank you once again. Special thanks again to the UAE Ministry of Economy and Tourism, Expo City Dubai, Dubai Business, Hero Experiences Group, and Atrangi by Rita Dalmia, for their vital role in bringing the Sustainable Destinations Forum 2025 first day to life. We look forward to welcoming you tomorrow to participate in one of our workshops. We have 6 wonderful workshops tomorrow morning, 3 tomorrow morning and 3 in the afternoon. And of course, you all know we now invite you to gather for the next highlight of the day, for the evening, the Heritage Desert Dinner, and hosted by our partner Hero. And I hope we have some time left for you to change into your desert dress. Thank you very much, and look forward to see you tonight.
One of my favorite things in life, and what regenerates me, is going into expansive wilderness. The people who come here, they will experience that too.
Good morning.
Hey, Nikki, how's it going? You ready to head out?
Let's do it.
All right, follow me.
We're getting this new trend of luxury tourism where they're going for nature.
The first pillar of regenerative tourism is conservation.
These reefs are absolutely amazing, and they're virtually unexplored.
The goal is now to keep it pristine. Oh, what an amazing time. You know, a lot of people just see these plants, but within these plants, there's all the sorts of wildlife.
Oh, look. So you see that little jellyfish right there? So that's the upside-down jellyfish.
Oh, really?
So it eats sunlight, and it's photosynthesizing right now.
That's amazing.
The rarest herbivore that we get around here is the dugong.
This is their home.
This is their home.
We have amazing tropical reefs here. We have amazing desert habitats. We have mountains. There's so much that one person can experience.
That's what I love about this place.
That was epic.
Some would say that we have driven hours to see the sunset, but we're actually only 10 minutes from the sea. The moon is up, and it's almost the time for our stargazing.
This is quite unique in the way that guests can enjoy this astronomy experience.
It is. We're designing all the lights to be dark sky friendly. That makes the place very special for astrotourism.
The whole community is connected to the stars in terms of stories and history.
It is engraving your culture in the sky, and the guests are also ambassadors to spreading that culture. Tonight, we're seeing the full moon.
I feel like I can see the whole way around the moon. I've never seen anything like that.
You're seeing things that you can only take away with your soul.
This forest is older than any of us. These rocks have been around for millions of years.